Hello, amazing, beautiful people. And here we are once again on a wonderful Wednesday. Some people call it hump day. I call it actually, it's the lift up day. It's the crossover point for the week where we've had our beginnings and we've started the week and now we're going into the end of the week. And today it's number 2, or it's the second session of relational intelligence. It's been an amazing journey for me to actually stop, to actually pause, and to have some time with myself. Weird for me, just quietly. So I am, this last few weeks, obviously having my operation, then having a TIA, then not being able to drive, being dependent on others, but also just actually having to slow down. I've had no choice. I've had to slow down. My physical body hasn't been able to do the things that I can normally do, all the things that I've taken for granted. I have a little bit of a remembrance of our time in COVID, where everything was taken from us. It's a little bit like that. I loved COVID because it gave me time to be with my family. It gave me time for deeper connection. It gave me time to just be and not have to do so much. And actually, that's a little bit like these last couple of weeks. I've had to rest. And what it's done, we often talk about the 80-20 rule. 80% of what we do actually gives us very little. 20% of what we do gives us 80% of the results. And so when you actually haven't got capacity or you haven't got the energy to do everything, you then have to really, or I have had to really narrow it down to what's really important. Because if I've only got capacity for 20%, what's going to give me the biggest impact? What's the best way for me to spend my 20% of my energy? Because that's literally, for the last 2 weeks, all I've had. It's like, I feel like, normally my battery is completely full and it's charged all day, every day, and it just keeps flowing. And it's just been amazing. But actually, during this time, it's not even got the yellow. It's actually on red. And so once I've spent that energy, it's like it takes forever, even a good night's sleep, which actually I've only just managed to achieve in the last few days because it's been so interrupted, hasn't given me that charge. So what have I learned? What have I learned? What's been good? What has really resonated for me during this time? Well, one is I actually listened to a webinar this morning with Dr. Benjamin Hardy, and he's talking about his new book, which is about rapid growth and transformational growth. But he referred back to his 80-20, the 80-20 rule, and also his book with Dan Sullivan, 2x is better, 10x is better than 2x. And 2x is where we build on what we already know and look towards our goal from there. 10x is where we go for gold and look at the impossible and bring it back down and work it through. So it's the opposite way. Graham Cook talks about, who I hang out with a lot with, he talks about the old man, which is trying to fix old stuff. It's trying to work on the old. And actually, with a new creation, for those of us who've chosen to be reborn, or for those of us who've chosen that Jesus is actually the way, then actually we are completely a new person from who we were before. So we get to work on the new, not work on the old. That's exactly what Ben was talking about. It's also been what I've had to do is I've had to clear out. I've had no tennis, can't walk the dog, can't do the things, can't do my coaching in the way that I haven't mentally been able to work through that. So all of the things that I would normally do, my work, my social stuff, my keeping mentally and physically fit, my strength rooms, all of that completely wiped out. And what it's done is it's really made me refocus on what is genuinely important to me, what really fills my boots and what really fills my cup. And so one of the things, there's 3 things actually that's come out, and it's all to do with relationship and relational intelligence. Firstly, it's my relationship with God. It's my faith relationship that has come first. I have had some amazing conversations, some incredible wisdom, some just next level insights during this time, most of it for other people. Most of it has been to pass on. Most of it has been to share and spoken into the moment, into whatever it is that that person has needed at that time. The next has actually been to be kind and generous and patient with myself. I'm great at doing that for other people, but in the past, I'd have been super angry and frustrated that I can't drive, that I can't do this, that I can't do that, that I can't do the other, all gone gusmus. And actually, I've just had to give myself grace. That's so not a word I would have used in the past. But it has been so refreshing and so freeing to just be me, to just accept the fact that this will pass, this time will pass, and to make the most of the rest, to really focus on what's important and to clear out. I have unsubscribed from so many things that were coming in on my emails. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that input. I have become super focused, like laser focused on what goes in, because what comes in will go out. So if I'm putting trash in, it'll be trash that comes out. And actually that came from Graham. I loved it this week. Was, we need to clear out the trash, flip the switch and bring the treasure in. So out with the trash, out with the old, in with the new. Out with the rubbish, bring in the treasure. I'm up for that. And the other, so, actually I've had to clear the trash about what I think about myself, about putting pressure on myself to perform, to do this, to do that, to do the other, to be perfect, to be superwoman. It's all gone because actually I have capacity for it. And the other, so the three relationships, faith, myself, and with my husband and my children, has really deepened during this time. And you know what? When the chips are down and when you're sick and when things don't go your way, what's really important? Is it the car you drive? Is it the house you live in? Is it how tidy the garden is? Is it whether you've vacuumed? Or is it the people that are really important to you? It's time for us to get our upside down worlds the right way up and to focus on what's really important. Those deep relationships that actually drive us, that fill us, that are why we're here. To carry to the next generation and the next, pour it out into the next space. So I have been really aware of how much stuff and clutter I have accumulated, whether it's on my computer and it's been emails or videos or stuff or unsubscribing from things. Boff, gone, boff, gone, boff, gone, all done. Brilliant. Cleared me. I feel so much lighter. And so here I'll give you 5. I've got a fabulous 5 for you that came to me today. And I just thought this is absolute gold. So this is out with the trash and in with the treasure. Okay. So I'm going to give you 5 bits of trash that actually my life is so much better without. And then, so it's like a double portion because you take the trash out and you clear the decks and you feel better. And then you bring the treasure in and it's like a double portion of awesomeness. I just love it. So first thing, release yourself. Stop scrolling on social media. Any channel, get rid of it. Just stop it, biff it. I know somebody who's got rid of TikTok this week and she feels amazing because actually what was happening, and for many of us, like on Instagram or whatever it might be, she's getting fed with stuff because she's looked at things. It's all going on your past history and it's feeding you. It's actually dictating what you listen to. It's dictating what you see. So we've become a slave to social media. And that scrolling is false dopamine. Gives us a hit, but we have to go back for more. It's like an addiction. So unhelpful. So that's the boff, get rid of the trash, and bring in the connection with real people, either in person or a call or a message from you to somebody you love. It's brilliant. Real people, real messages, genuine connection around their day, their life, whatever it might be. So much more fulfilling than scrolling and being one like, no, I like this, tick that, tick whatever. Who cares? No one actually cares. It's just all about me. And this is giving something different. Or maybe you have to say goodbye to the news. I kicked the news into touch about 10 or 15 years ago. Best thing I ever did, because it was all depressing. It was all based on fear. And there was nothing I could do about any of it. So actually, you never come off the news and go, yeah, I feel so much better. The world is a wonderful place. You feel terrible because of things that are happening in the world that is unhelpful. So kick that into touch, pop it in the trash, because actually most of the content, probably that's where it needs to be. And wake up to the good news, which builds you, because it focuses on freedom and love and choice. Brilliant. You get to choose instead of fear and control, which is what the news is actually based on. And then stop filling those hunger pains, this is personal for me, with processed, instant junk food that makes me feel lethargic. I want something quick because I have been impatient. I'm hungry. I want something now. Really don't like having to then wait or create something, and I'm not inspired because I'm hungry and then actually I'm hungry. So boff, let's cut that out. Make sure there's nothing processed in the house or whatever it might be. And let's plan ahead. Last night, I cooked some beautiful veggies, all fresh, so that today I could have a stunning stir fry. Took me 2 minutes. Brilliant. Much quicker than the other things that I might have chosen, and much more healthy. And you know what? All that colour, all those nutrients, paddock to plate. I feel so much better, and I've got the energy. And you know what? I sat out in the sun and ate my lunch in the sun. Then once I'd finished, I actually just closed my eyes, let the sun just minister to my eyes. It's brilliant. I felt so much better. Okay, stop reaching for the caffeine boost, the energy boost. Now, I've had to. With the TIA, you can't do coffee, you can't do wine. It's unhelpful for your head. So I haven't had a lot of choice. But you know what? I'm like, oh, okay. Have I missed it? No. Brilliant. I'm so excited. So what have I done? I've had a glass of sparkling water or a cup of fruit tea. I might have had a piece of 95% cocoa chocolate. It's beautiful, just quietly. So, you know what? One piece, that's okay. And then that's when I've sat with my cup of tea, bit of chocolate in the sun, just having a moment. That has recharged my batteries probably 10 times more than a cup of coffee would have done. Out with the old and the trash, in with the treasure. And last one, stop sitting on the sofa feeling sorry for myself. I felt a bit sorry for myself when I couldn't get up, can't drive, can't go anywhere, kind of a bit stuck, haven't got any energy, not feeling like I really want to do much. In fact, every time I get up, I was feeling dizzy. Like, I was feeling quite sorry for myself. But you know what? That doesn't get me anywhere. So get up and go for a walk. That walk might have just been to the loo and back at that point in time. Grateful that I can now walk the dog. Get outside. Even if I just went outside and just stood in the sun or sat in the sun for 5 minutes, it changed my atmosphere. It changed my thinking. Next week, I'm going to be able to weed a patch in the garden. So excited. Haven't been able to do that for a month. Let me tell you, our garden's got lots of weeding. Or maybe just, sometimes it's just actually tidying a room or clearing a deck, just tidying a surface so it's clean and tidy. I feel so much better. Brilliant, it's gold. Living in mess, living in dirt, living in chaos fries my brain. I am a clear surfaces girl. So if things are clean, things are clear, things are tidy, I can breathe and I can think. So those are my 5 for you today. And I really encourage you. Today is about taking out the trash and bringing in the treasure. Take out what no longer serves you, that 80%. Really be quite hard, because you'll be amazed at how much stuff, I'm looking around my office, how much clutter I've got in this office that actually I don't even need. And if I can bless somebody else with it, if I can hand it on to somebody else and clear my surfaces, bring it on, because it clears my space for upstairs thinking, for new ideas, for fresh wind, for fresh and new beginnings. And that's what Ben was talking about. At the end of the day, we've got to stop trying to fix our old selves, fix the problem, and start looking at the solutions, start looking at the opportunities, start looking at what's impossible. Do you know impossible means I'm possible? And start believing in who you are. That is actually, I've had to really get to know myself over these last few weeks, because actually it's been me, and me for most of the time. And so I really encourage you, get to know your awesome, beautiful, amazing self. And it's time to just be who you're called to be. I'd love to hear your take on this, whether it's been helpful about taking out the trash and bringing in the treasure and clearing your decks. It's springtime here in New Zealand. It is time for a spring clean, mentally, physically, spiritually. Bring it on in the name of Jesus. Have an amazing week. God bless.